Durian ice cream, yay or nay? That's what I want to know. Would you try this? I'm going to share that with you today. Good morning from Surabaya, Indonesia. We flew here to kick off our Java road trip. We're going to go east to west of this beautiful island. Now, Surabaya is a city that not a lot of international tourists go to. In fact, it kind of has a little bit of a bad rap for some reason, but I don't know why. Because when we got here, all I thought was, wow, it's beautiful. Now, it's the second largest city compared to Jakarta, but it's so green, lush, and the people here are so friendly. It's home to the largest and second largest mall, but it's also home to spicy East Javanese food. I can't wait to try it today and share it with you. Now for breakfast, we're going somewhere very local. In fact, they only serve one thing at this spot, and this dish I am familiar with, kind of, but I've never had it here, so it's going to be different. It's called lontong. Lontong is a compressed rice cake that they steam and then cut up, mixed with a number of different things, depending on where you are, local ingredients, different tastes. If you like things sweeter, if you like things spicier, it changes depending on what city you're in. Here in Surabaya, it looks totally different than Padang. Now in Padang, it is in like a spicy curry. It's delicious. Not a lot of vegetables. Here, I can already see it's very different. So we've got this clear broth. It's topped with tons of bean sprouts, which I'm loving because I love to get lots of vegetables. And then also, I've got some of the rice cake. I've got some tofu. I've got a black-eyed pea fritter. And the taste here is a little bit different, so it's sweeter. They have kecap manis, which is a sweet soy sauce in it. Also, patis. Patis is a fermented shrimp paste. Not surprising because we're in a port town. This is going to be a fantastic breakfast. It's sweet, a little bit sour. It definitely has like a little bit of a fermented funk. And then this is a rice cake. Oh yeah, this is fantastic. When we came here, Alan said, let's get 2 bowls because he knew it was gonna be good here. He was right. This is delicious. This broth. Is this lontong dish better than the one you've had in Padang?
For the vegetable menu,
Yeah.
I like this one.
I was just talking to Alan about how light, bright, fresh this is, how I really like it for breakfast. You know, you have that fermented shrimp paste, which has lots of umami, interesting, the crispiness, like just really nice. But I was missing something. And I was surprised because East Javanese food tends to be really spicy. Now, my first week in Jakarta, almost a year ago, I shot a video eating East Javanese food with my friend Aloy. And that video is basically me just talking about how spicy it is. I was sweating through my dress. It was so spicy. And so I was surprised that this wasn't, but then we found this. This is on the table, it's a sambal. And so I'm just gonna put a tiny little bit of this because I have had the East Javanese spice. I know, I need to take it easy. Oh, that's spicy. Wow, that got me right there. And that was just a drop. This takes me back to Jakarta. It's like something just attacked my mouth spice. It's not like Mexican spice. It's not like any other spice. I want to try a little bit, but I'm afraid. It's spicy. It's good. I'm not going to complain. It's very good. I said that I was missing some spice, and yeah, now I've got it. Fantastic breakfast. I loved it. It was so fresh. Now, as I was looking through all of the awards and articles written about him, I noticed a lot of people said sambal pedas, but that means the spicy sambal, the spicy hot sauce. I can attest, that was spicy. It was like someone had electrocuted my tongue with just that tiny drop, but definitely worth coming here. Next up, we're gonna go check out a Russian submarine. sightseeing is at the Submarine Monument Museum. Now this was a Russian submarine that was first used in the 1960s, decommissioned in 1990, and now it's here as a museum. It's apparently really interesting because you get to go inside and see everything. Thankfully, it is so much cooler in here, and we're starting off with something exciting. These are the torpedoes.
This is the propeller of the torpedo to drive the torpedo direction inside the sea.
So this is where the commander sleeps, which you would think would be luxurious. You are the chief, but actually not so much. Come take a look. So here you can see I'm only 5 feet tall. Not a lot of headspace, also not a lot of room. You just have like a little wardrobe, a desk, and this bed, which is so thin, you cannot roll over. You just have enough room to like sleep just like this. This is how they lived here, even if you were the chief. All right, looks like the radio area right here. And then to get into the next spot, a little complicated.
Yeah.
Of course, you've got all of these doors. Always very graceful. This is actually really cool because you can go around and see all the different parts. This is the compass right here. They have a spot for plans. You can look in to see how they see up top from the submarine. You just walk around and kind of look at everything. There are signs, which is great, and thankfully a lot of Indonesian words are very similar to English. I will say this though, wow, it's hot in here. So I think when you're in the submarine and you go low into the water where the water is cold, it would be very comfortable, but if you come up at all, it's very, very humid. So it looks like now we're in the dining room. I don't know how many people were on this. So it looks like maybe not many people because the dining room table is small and then there's just somewhere to sit.
Terlepas mean free. Siap. Siap is mean steady. Go ahead. Slowly. Go ahead in general. Go ahead general also. This is just for steady and go ahead. More faster. Faster. And fast.
Fastest.
Yeah. Ready go to Padang?
This was actually really interesting. I would say only 15-20 minutes time unless you really are interested in submarines, but kind of cool to walk around and see exactly what it was like. Next up, we're headed for lunch. We're going to eat something very traditional to Surabaya. I wanted to go to the submarine museum because I've never been in a submarine. Also, Alan studied to be a mariner, worked as one before he became a tour guide, but also the reason I wanted to go was Surabaya is known to have the heart, the bravery, the military action. That started in 1945. So the Dutch actually occupied Indonesia for 350 years, and it didn't stop until World War II when it was forced to because Japan occupied. Now, after the war, Indonesians said, this is our moment, we are going to declare independence. But the Dutch said, wait, no, we want this country back. And so they had the Great Battle of Surabaya right here. Netherlands had the means, the army, the money, but here they had the heart, they had the numbers, they had the people. And so in some cases, locals were fighting with just bamboo shoots cut into spears. But in the end, after a 3-day battle, they won. And that is why Indonesia is still an independent country, thanks to Surabaya. Look at this place. You want to walk down?
Yeah.
One of the things I love about Surabaya is that you have all of these like big commercial streets, but then they have all of these little alleyways that you can walk through, and there's artwork on the sides. So it's not only cool, but it kind of just gets you out of those main streets. It actually reminds me a lot of Saigon in Vietnam, and then also Varanasi in India, where it's so hot and loud on the outside, but they have all these little alleyways that you can go through. Obviously, Surabaya is not as extreme, but it's still nice. Like, just lots of air flowing through and really beautiful. Oh, I love it. All right, now while trees line most of the streets here, we realized it's too hot. Our walk is about 20 minutes, which normally would not be a big issue, but it's noon, the sun is hot, and so we're gonna call Grab. All right, so we're here at Rawon Seitan for one of the most famous dishes in all of Surabaya. It is from ancient Java. It has been around since 901 BC or AD. I don't know which one, but both are very old. And it's called rawon. Now, rawon is a beef soup. And it's not just any kind of beef soup. The actual liquid that it comes in is dark because they use this fruit that has this like gingery sour flavor. It's called kaluar. They also mix that with shallots, onions, garlic, chili, lime, and then they're not done. Then they also mix it with lemongrass, galangal, bay leaves, a number of other spices, and finally they add the boiled beef, and you get this rich, deep broth, like nothing that I've ever seen. Now the color actually comes from this nut. When you come here, you'll get it with a side of rice with a little bit of sambal and some bean sprouts, and then you're also gonna get it with this side. You've got salted duck eggs, tongue, and some different organs. This here, if you don't wanna eat it, you don't have to pay for it, just keep it to the side. Now they also serve it with a special sambal. This place is called Rawon Seitan because it's Satan's rawon, and it's supposed to be because it's so spicy. So just like at breakfast, where the lonton was not spicy, you add your own spice, same thing here. You don't have to worry, this is not too spicy. This place has been open since 1951, generations. And today you can see families here, there's old women here, there's old men. When you come in, it's not air conditioned, but as soon as they saw me, they said, hey, come on through to the air conditioned room. So thank you for that. Try this broth. Wow. I've never had such a deep, intense beef broth flavor. You know, it's all of those spices that it takes to make this, and then a little bit of sourness from the kelwar. I'm gonna try next just a little bit of the sambal. Now, I'm telling you, I am a little bit afraid because I know in East Java, the food here is so spicy. In Jakarta, really just sweating, eating that East Javanese food. I'm just gonna have just like this tiny. The flavor is really good. Ooh, hot. It's really hot. So it's like you put this drop on your tongue and then it ripples out and now my whole tongue is on fire. And then to try this beef. The texture is like boiled beef, not great. But in this broth, it's really, really good. And then to add a little bit of this sambal, I'm telling you, I don't want to put too much in. Perfect. Ooh, heats up my mouth, but I can still taste the flavor. This is the place to eat it. Very, very local. People here are so nice. They were so nice when I was asking about the nut. They brought some out for me. Definitely a family spot. You feel like you're at home. This, I think, is not as spicy, but still, it's like an explosion.
Let's try.
Oh, you're gonna go in for it. Oh, wow.
Very strong, very spicy.
Is it gonna be spicier?
Yeah, very spicy.
From 1 to 10, and 10 is like you need to dunk your head in water.
For me, still 8.
8?
Yeah.
Would you put more, would you eat another spoonful?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
But one thing is, if you put on the sauce, it will feel less, feel nothing.
Okay, so that was really good. It felt very much like a family spot. Like you were in like a very local kind of, everyone there was so nice. Now I know everyone says, oh, everywhere you go, people are so nice. But I would have to say people in Surabaya, super nice. It doesn't feel, the owner was nice. It doesn't feel like you're in like a big city. It's not a big city kind of culture. It's more like a town friendliness, which I really like. It's all of these little neighborhoods, which I think make it special. We are going to head next to one of the oldest neighborhoods here. We're going to Old Town, so I think that's where we're going to see a lot of the Dutch architecture. I think there's some monuments to 1945. It's supposed to be picturesque. We're getting a grab because it's so hot, and we're also going to get something cold to drink. Hopefully traditional. There are a couple of traditional drinks just from Surabaya that I have not seen yet, or we are looking for, and I'm hoping maybe on the street we'll find someone in Old Town. Womp womp. So we actually thought that Old Town would be like this sectioned off colonial part, and it's not. It's just a couple streets over, around from the largest mall in all of Indonesia, which we have been to. But we have commented on how beautiful these Dutch colonial buildings are. I don't really like to say like colonial buildings are beautiful because they also remind me of a terrible past, but everyone here is really enjoying it. There seems to be some kind of market going on, beautiful trees, lots of locals hanging out, so maybe colonialism wasn't a good thing, but people today are reclaiming it and enjoying the area, so we're going to check it out. Old Town was a little bit of a bust. We actually are just staying a couple streets over and didn't realize. But Alan found an ice cream shop that's been around since 1930, and so we have to go. All right, so maybe I didn't get to show you Old Town, or I did show you Old Town, but realized that there's not really a lot going on there. It's just basically government buildings that were old, you know, Dutch colonial spots. They look beautiful, but not really a lot to do or interact with. So I'm so glad Alan found this spot because it's like stepping back in time. One of the things I like about Surabaya is that it's mostly national tourism. So a lot of Indonesians come into the city on the weekend because it's known for great food, have lots of great coffee shops, and it's a really beautiful city. Lots of great sidewalks, trees, no smog. It is what Jakarta wishes it could be, but it is not. And so that's why I love this city. Well, I got durian with chocolate because I am really trying to embrace durian, learn to love it. And I find the best way is actually an ice cream. I like it because it usually has like a fruity, just like a little bit of funkiness, and doesn't have the texture of regular durian. And then Alan got like this old school ice cream cake, Black Forest. That looks awesome.
So let's see what is inside. Very good and classic.
This durian is melting very quickly, but this is probably one of the best durian ice cream I've had. It's very fruity. If you're not sure if you want to try durian or not, this is the place to do it. Very fruity, very cool, not too creamy, and just a little bit funky, that funkiness that you get from durian. I do like a good ice cream cake. It's like a trend, I think, now. And I like it, like this sliced ice cream. That's good too. Now, as my ice cream is melting, I'm gonna end this video here, but we have had a fantastic time. I would love to come back to Surabaya. Actually, the hotels we've stayed in, I didn't share it in the video because I forgot. I enjoyed it so much. Have been great, really good prices. Everything here is very reasonably priced despite being a city. So I wanna come back, maybe do a street food video at night, maybe some night market videos. You let me know, what do you wanna know about Surabaya? Also on the outskirts, there's supposed to be some really beautiful areas. So if you have some suggestions, let me know in the comments below. Tomorrow we have a very early bus to Malang, the apple capital of Indonesia. It has a rainbow city, a blue city. It has a lot of different traditional food that you can only find in Malang, or originally from Malang. So we're gonna do that all day tomorrow. See you then.
Join my Patreon community for more behind the scenes and exclusive content you won't find elsewhere. You can also find me on Instagram, and be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. All of these things make my day. Thank you so much for your support.